gotta say goodbye. Next time you hear the sound of my voice will be for the evening announcements coming up at 6:30. It's time to bring you the evening news right here on DBS.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says there is no need for panic over speculation that the U.S. immigration crackdown may affect travel to the U.S. In news from the region, Bahamian government to use budget surplus to decrease debt burden. And internationally, Iran and Israel ceasefire appears to hold after Donald Trump outburst at both sides. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart, who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
DBS News.
Welcome back and welcome to the listeners of Acoustic Worship Radio. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says there is no need for panic over speculation that the U.S. immigration crackdown may affect travel to the U.S. Mr. Skerrit says the government has been monitoring recent developments in the U.S. and is in touch with U.S. officials.
In respect to the news of the U.S. visa ban, I want to say to us in Dominica that there is really no need or cause for panic. Though we have not received any official communication on this matter, we have been proactive in engaging the U.S. at different levels to ascertain the facts and the actions which may be necessary. I assure the people of Dominica that we take the matter seriously, and the government is addressing this through appropriate diplomatic channels. So Dominicans who are in possession of a U.S. visa and have legitimate reasons to travel to the United States can do so, whether on business, study, or vacation. We are committed to protecting our national interests, the integrity of our international partnerships, and most importantly, the rights and freedoms of the Dominican people. We are prepared to address the concerns raised by our international partners through appropriate diplomatic and cooperative means. The government will keep the public informed as more information becomes available. We remain confident in our institutions, in the strength of our international relations, and in our collective ability to resolve any issues that may arise.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Mr. Skerrit says, however, Dominicans who reside in the U.S. illegally need to take some action.
There's a correspondence to the Ministry of National Security that was sent by the U.S. and they have asked us to share that information with our citizens in respect to travel to the United States. If you travel to the United States and they give you 6 months, do not let 6 months on the day take you to the United States. You can leave before the 6 months over, but do not overstay on your visa. And they're also saying to us to inform our citizens who are in the United States that if you are in the United States and you are not legal, that is to say that you have gone beyond your stay or you got to the United States through non-legal means, then you should avail yourself to the authorities and they will facilitate your repatriation to Dominica and so forth. They'll pay away, they'll give you some money to come home, whatever it is. So that's one of the issues that they're raising. Of course, that's something that I don't have much control over. I think it's a matter for us to understand those who are involved in that they need to deal with this matter. But what I want to say to us in Dominica, that on this issue there is no need to be anxious. Reading some social media and all these things and so on, and the sensation that's going to be, and all of this speculation. I'm not involved in the speculation. Something is seen or read, we ask the question directly to the people who may have the information, and that's why we engage in the United States. And I have assigned a lot of my time on this issue, and I'm personally, as Prime Minister, leading the government's response on this matter.
Mr. Skerritt notes that Dominica is addressing concerns raised by the U.S. over the Citizenship by Investment program.
And of course, there are some aspects of our CBI program, most of which have been addressed through the establishment of the independent regulatory authority among the member states who have CBI programs. And one of those concerns the United States has is the ability of applicants to change their names, either during the process or after the process. We met over the weekend as heads of government of these countries, and we've made it very clear that one of the provisions of the legislation in this new creation will be a complete ban on the ability of any applicant to change their names. So once you become a citizen under the program, you will not have the ability to change your names or continue to benefit from the citizenship of our countries. And there are some other administrative things, all of which we believe will be captured in the new legislation, which we will share with the public in the next few days. There are not many things to be worried about or to be overly anxious about. I think we are mature leadership. We treat things in a responsible manner, and we will continue to engage the United States in a very responsible manner, whatever concerns they have. That they may have. We're not aware of anything that is beyond our ability to address, and we look forward to hearing from them officially, if at all. And once we do, then we will respond in like manner, and we will keep the Dominican public informed. But I will say to you, there's no need to panic. You know, there's a lot of things being said on social media, and so I would suggest to us that on this matter, wait to hear from the government on its engagement with the U.S. on this issue.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt. The Parliament of Dominica has approved a motion for an increase in a bank guarantee to facilitate an air service agreement between Discover Dominica Authority and United Airlines. The bank guarantee of $7.3 million will now increase to $12.2 million, which will be obtained from the National Bank of Dominica. The guarantee will enable United Airlines to make an additional flight into Dominica on a Wednesday.
The new Wednesday flight is proposed for October 19, 2025 to April 26, 2026, and October 17, 2026 to April 24, 2025 as follows. Departing Newark 9 a.m. and arriving Dominica at 1:39 p.m. Departing Dominica at 2:45 p.m. and arriving Newark at 7:51 p.m. Aircraft and capacity, that is the Boeing 737, a capacity between 126 to 179 passengers. Government welcomes the addition of the Wednesday flights. It will increase the number of direct flights from North America, which is the preferred option for visitors. In addition, it will allow more flexibility for visitors who would prefer shorter vacations. For example, flying on a Saturday and return on Wednesday, or Wednesday and return on Saturday. We therefore anticipate increased stay-over visitor arrivals, resulting in increased economic activity and the yielding of some returns on the recent investments at Douglas Charles Airport, that is the extension and grooving of the runway.
Minister for Finance, Dr. Irvin McIntyre. Minister of State in the Ministry of Public Works, Public Utilities and Digital Economy, Shakira Lockhart-Hippolyte, says this new flight comes at a crucial time, especially after Silver Airways announced its decision to cease operations in Dominica.
Pleased to announce another major achievement. As part of our ongoing efforts to enhance air access, Dominica will be signing an agreement with United Airlines for the addition of a midweek flight from New York Liberty International Airport. This will expand the current once-weekly Saturday service to include a Wednesday flight, effectively doubling direct airlift from one of our largest source markets, the United States. The Saturday service has performed exceptionally well since its inception, with average seat occupancy of 77% and peak loads reaching 96%. United Airlines, encouraged by this performance, has welcomed the addition and proposed a simple amendment to the existing agreement. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, they have also agreed to reduce the guaranteed amount per flight, a sign of their confidence in the continued viability and growth of the route. Mr. Speaker, this midweek flight is timely. The cessation of Silver Airlines service from San Juan, resulting in the loss of 288 seats per week. This new United flight not only helps to recover the capacity, but also enhances access from New York, home to a large diaspora and a fast-growing market of eco-conscious travelers.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Public Works, Public Utilities and Digital Economy, Shakira Lockhart-Hippolyte. Opposition Senator Delbert Paris expressed concerns about the increased cost burden associated with this new flight.
We are increasing the frequency to twice weekly, that is including the Wednesday flight. And the new operational periods taken down from 26 months, we have February 15th, 2025 to August 16th, 2025. We have October 18th, 2025 to April 25th, 2026. October 17th, 2026 to April 24th, 2027. Now, Mr. Speaker, obviously, this logically implies an increase in the cost burden. And we have heard from two of our ministers that the minimum revenue guarantee per flight has been taken down or suggested lower. But obviously, Mr. Speaker, it represents an increase in the cost burden. We have more flights. We double in the flights, all right? However, we have not seen a corresponding upwards revision of the $11.1 million that we already approved. Instead, Mr. Speaker, what we have seen in this resolution is that it is suggested that the Parliament approved a bank guarantee of 7.3, significantly less than the $11.1 million that was actually approved on December 16. Now, that is a striking disparity of $3.8 million. And the new resolution does not provide a justification or any type of amendment explaining, one, minimum revenue guarantee contract was revised downwards, or whether the remaining $3.8 million will be covered under another mechanism, or whether the Parliament's decision of December 2024 authorization has been overridden or selectively implemented. Moreover, Mr. Speaker, the resolution proposes to increase the NBD guarantee to $12.2 million to accommodate the Wednesday flight. But I didn't hear the minister provide a financial breakdown of this figure.
Opposition Senator Delbert Paris. A bill for an act to establish a sperm whale reserve in Dominica will go back to further consultation. The legislation was set to be tabled in the Dominican Parliament today. However, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the Ministry of the Blue and Green Economy will meet and discuss with stakeholders before the second and third readings of the bill.
We will only do the first reading of a bill which is the Sperm Whale Reserve Act of 2025, to do only the first reading and not all three readings. This is in direct response, Mr. Speaker, to some concerns which have been raised by some local stakeholders. Truth be told, we don't quite believe that there will be any injury to be caused with us going through all three readings, because we believe that the bill captures the very salient points. But I think it is only fair that we stand down for the passage of the bill and allow the Ministry of the Green and Blue Economy to engage the stakeholders one more time so that their concerns can be placed on the table and given some consideration. because, Mr. Speaker, it is crucial that the country, not the government, the country, gives due consideration to this bill. And not only from an economic standpoint, but I believe that we have a duty and obligation to preserve and conserve that which we have enjoyed this existing generations, that future generations can have the opportunity to enjoy the beauty of this marvel in our seas. So it is a choice that we have to make. But the reality is, as it is being done now, it is not in the interest of the whales, and therefore is not in the interest of the stakeholders, and therefore not in the interest of the country.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Parliament has been adjourned sine die. Valedictorian Giovanni Samuel of the Goodwill Secondary School reflected on the path that led to this celebration. The Goodwill Secondary School held its graduation ceremony yesterday. Shemaika Charles was named salutatorian.
Our film, Fueled by Resilient, Driven by Dreams, perfectly sums up our story. Because let's be real, it took serious fuel to get here. Resilience got us through online classes with glitchy Wi-Fi, the chaos of switching schools, and mental exhaustion of juggling SBs and extra classes. Dream kept us going when the road got rough. For me personally, I thank God for the courage He gave me. Courage that carried me through these 5 years. Courage to take risks, to lead when it was easier to follow, to speak when my voice shook. Even when I was nervous out of my mind during my first ever debates competition, I pushed through, because that's what resilience looks like. And as one of the few males representing the school, my presence spoke, not just for me, but for all the boys who often go unnoticed or fall by the wayside.
Valedictorian of the Goodwill Secondary School, Giovanni Samuel. Meantime, Academic Excellent Awards went to Kay Cameron, Natasha Bristol, and Giovanni Samuel. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot hide. It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
DBS News.
In news from the region, the Bahamas government says it plans to use its projected surplus in this year's national budget to directly pay down on the country's debt. The country's finance minister says Bahamas' largest ever deficit in 2020-2021 to a projected surplus is a sign of responsible leadership, adding that the economy recorded real GDP growth of 3.4% in 2024, with nominal growth at 3.7%, alongside a record 11.2 million international visitors last year. However, Bahamas' main opposition, Free National Movement, says the Phillips Davis government is out of touch with the challenges facing ordinary Bahamians. And internationally, a ceasefire appears to have taken hold between Israel and Iran, with both nations acknowledging that it is in place. It follows an angry intervention by U.S. President Donald Trump, who earlier accused both sides of violating the truce. Israel's Prime Minister hails a historic victory for his country in an address to his nation, while Iran's president says his people had determined the end of the 12-day war. Trump is attending the NATO summit in the Netherlands, where the focus is on defense spending. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot hide. It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
Welcome to the DBS Evening Sports Report. West Indies ODI captain Shea Hope has been named the wicket-keeper for the first test match against Australia, as the Windies have announced they're playing 11 for the first match, which gets underway in Barbados tomorrow. Hope's inclusion as the keeper means there is no space for Tevin Imlak, who made his debut in Pakistan and had an outstanding first-class season. Meantime, John Campbell, Casey Carty and Brandon King have also been included in the West Indies playing 11 for tomorrow. Carty is listed to bat at number 3. Brandon King will make his debut in Test cricket at number 4. The West Indies playing 11 for the match is Craig Brathwaite, John Campbell, Casey Carty, Brandon King, Ruston Chase, the captain, Shea Hope, Justin Greaves, Jomel Warrington, Alzari Joseph, Sharma Joseph, and Jaden Seals. Meantime, the new West Indies captain, Ruston Chase, says he is looking forward to the challenges of being West Indies captain. Chase says it has always been a dream to lead the West Indies team.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I mean, I'm privileged and honored to have this great job. I mean, all these greats before me came and did the job, so it's heartwarming for me. It's a proud moment. I mean, when I first got the news and then I saw the Honorable PM, she had a big write-up on me on the social media. My mom was more elated than me to even see it. So it was a proud moment for me. I mean, I'm looking forward to the challenge. I know it's going to be a tough job, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. Yeah, but I learned mostly to believe in yourself. I mean, as you said, I've had some ups and downs, but it's not about how you fall and stuff like that. It's about how you rise back up, like the PM said. I don't like to frown on it too much. I like to just look at the positives, take that positive outlook on things, even though I might have a bit of failure, because, as I said, it's about how you rise from adversity and stuff like that. I mean, and cricket is something that I love. I always wanted to play, so despite whatever may happen, I always want to continue and just try to rise from it and be the best that I can be.
New West Indies captain Ruston Chase. Meantime, West Indies head coach Darren Sammy says while Australia will be without Steve Smith for the first test, the Australians have a number of other good players. Sammy says that the West Indies have to be prepared for the task of facing one of the best teams in the world.
So Australia, whether with Steve Smith, obviously they're really strong, but without him they're equally capable of winning test matches. You know, the system has shown and proven over the last decade that they're one of the top teams in the world, and that's why I'm in the number one for a reason. So for us now is to fine-tune and focus on the areas that we have to do. When we looked at the last Test Championships, the stuff that we did, and just moving forward into this Test Championship cycle and building for the future. We too have a brand that we want to play, and the roles that we have selected to be executed, and the personnel, rather, to go out there and do well. We're confident. We wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't train the way we train, plan the way we plan, if we were not confident that we could go out and win cricket matches. And that's what it's all about, building that culture, being clear, communicate well, and having that confidence, because you will need all of that to play when you compete against the top teams in the world, and that's what we're looking to do.
West Indies head coach Darren Sammy. Meantime, Australia's captain Pat Cummins says the Australians won't be underestimating the West Indies team and feels the Windies will still be dangerous, even if they won't have Kemar Roach at their services.
Yeah, I mean, every time you see the West Indians play Test matches, Kemar's been there for the last 15 years, so it's a little bit different not seeing him there, but I think, in some ways, not overly sure what to expect. Even a couple of years back when we played these guys in Australia, it's about half the squad weren't there. It's a new squad. So, like I said, I like that part of kind of Test cricket. You got a problem to solve really quickly when you're out there. But yeah, they got some class fast bowlers. Obviously, new captain as well. So yeah, you don't always know what to expect. Oh, I mean, yeah, we'll wait and see. That was a great series a couple of years ago. Weren't quite up to scratch to that Gabba Test, and a couple of the West Indian guys, particularly Shamar, had a day out. So it's I'm sure the batter's been talking about how to manage him and counter that. But we'll wait and see. Again, it's a new cycle, so we're really keen to get off to a good start and kind of put ourselves at the top of that WTC.
Australia's captain Pat Cummins. Ben Duckett got a century as England completed a famous win over India in the first Test at Leeds on Tuesday. Chasing 371 to win, England hit 373 for 5, thanks in part to Duckett's 149 and Zach Crowley's 65. The two shared a 188-run stand for the first wicket to set England on their way. Joe Root got 53 not out and Jamie Smith 44 not out as England won by 5 wickets. The final scores India 471 and 364, England 465 and 373 for 5. Ben Duckett was named the player of the match. England captain is Ben Stokes.
Awesome Test match to be part of, going down to the last hour on day 5 and chasing a big total. Pretty special start to the series.
Let's talk about Ben Duckett today. What a great innings from him.
Unbelievable. Unless you're involved in it, the pressure of 4th innings, going out there, is tough, and nobody in the batting's hard enough, especially in England. So, that partnership that Zach and Ben, got us off to was just incredible. I think, what was 160, 170. So, to get that on the board and undown in a pretty big run chase obviously set us up brilliantly. Those two complement each other so well. Obviously Ducky got the big score that obviously contributed towards us winning this game, but I thought the way that Zach was able to stay composed and stay in the moment and almost sense that Ducky was getting off to the flyer. Obviously Ducky's got a big score there, but that 60-70 runs there from Zach as well was very, very important to this win.
England captain Ben Stokes. India captain Shubman Gill says it was a good test and tough to be on the losing end.
Definitely, I think a brilliant test match. We had our chances in the match. I think a few drop catches and our lower order didn't contribute as much as we like to, but overall I think really proud of our effort.
I wondered are you scratching your head a little bit, wondering how you're in this position? Because for long periods of the first 4 days, you were in a very dominant position.
Yeah, a little bit. I think yesterday we were thinking that we're going to give around 4:30, 4:35 and then declare. But unfortunately, I think our last 6 wickets scored around 20, 25 runs, which is never a good sign. But even today, I thought after their brilliant opening partnership, we did have our chances and just didn't go our way in this match.
India captain Shubman Gill. The second test gets underway next Wednesday. CWI President Dr. Kishore Shallow says a united front is required to restore the West Indies to their glory days. The CWI President made the remarks at the CWI WIPA Awards ceremony on the weekend. Dr. Shallow says that West Indies cricket over the years failed to adapt to the changing environment in world cricket.
The challenges we face today in global cricket are enormous. The challenges we face today in West Indies cricket are equally daunting. But they also did not come overnight. And had we heeded earlier to calls, might we be standing in a better place today? And that's a question we have to ask ourselves. So West, I'm sure you remember demanding players, retainers in the 1980s. What was it that you saw then that others didn't? And Brian Lara, yes, Brian Lara, realized the inevitable turning point in our cricket in 1995, suggesting in his recent book, Chronicles of England, that we failed to pay attention to the progress of the game and how cricket was evolving. Why couldn't we appreciate the warning then, even in 1995? West Indies cricket is on a turbulent ride. The path ahead demands clarity, courage, and collective action. It requires a united force. And so, maybe a good reset point to start now is to ask the question, what does West Indies cricket mean to us? What does it mean to you?
CWI President Dr. Kishore Shallow. That's how we end the DBS Evening Sports Report and News on behalf of the News and Sports Departments and our link person, DJ Hello Boy. I am Leila Langford saying good evening.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied.